everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. Today we're going a little retro. We're going to paint a model from Massive Darkness by Simon Games. Not painted one of these in a while. We're going to be painting, here he is, the living construct. As you can see, I've primed him in plate mail silver. That's a colour primer by the Army Painter, and I've also just done the base in black because I had some black lying around on my palette. Here's a addition to the hobby holder. So this screws on, you can take the cap off as normal, and you screw it onto the base of your hobby holder, and you get this sort of, this is 3D printed, and there's a bolt in there, and a screw goes through there, the center of the hobby holder, and it connects all that together, and it gives you a bigger handle to hold it with. Now, this is the original. You can see they all have that hole, and I'm fine with the original, but I got hold of this and I thought I'd give it a try because everybody's different, everyone's hand's different, everyone needs a different grip. I'll see how I get on with this, let you know by the end of the video. You're going to be able to see how I get on as well, see if you think it impedes me. And then Kit has sent some stickers out now. I used to get a button, now you get a sticker, so that's a nice little marker for me to put the model back in the middle every time. We're going to start with Boney Spikes. This is by the Army Painter, and it's in the Zombie Side set, one of them, one of the originals. And we're going to be painting the model. Basically, to me, this is a super quick and easy one. If you're new to painting, this is a great one to start with. Or if you've not, or you just want a quick win, sometimes it's nice to just get a model done nice and quick. And as I was saying, this model looks to me like a couple of colors. I think we're going to be talking about some silver, some bone color, because he's metal, and I think he's a bit living. I couldn't quite tell on the art whether it was bone or gold, but from the name, this living construct, I'm going to go with bone. So I'm going to paint on all the spikes this bone color. It's quite a dark bone color because I just want it to, I'm going to highlight up from here. So I'm going around, I'm just copying the concept art, or the art on the card, sorry, and I'm just painting all the bits that look this bone color, and I'm matching them up here. I'm using, this is a Rosemary & Co brush, getting on with these very well. It's a sort of detail brush. It's the 3/0 that I'm using specifically here if anyone's interested, but it's got a very nice point. It's very easy to do those studs that are all over him, and they look like they're in this color as well. So I'm just going around painting on all the studs. There's some skulls, there's some spikes, the ends of his caps of his feet, and then these studs all over him, quite a lot of those to hit. Leather brown is going to be my brown of choice to paint on the staff that's holding that huge mace. He's got a giant mace with some sort of bird skull on the end, and that's the only bit that's brown, so that's not going to take very long. Quickly paint that in, and then I'm going to use zombie skin. Again, it's a lighter bone color this time. It's a lot closer to yellow. It's just a slight yellow. Did I say closer to yellow? It's a lot closer to white. Sorry, it's a slight yellow. Whew, can't wait to go to sleep. And that's it. That's all the base coat done. That's all I'm going to do to it. And then I'm going to take Surivor Shader. That's the black wash by the Army Painter. I'm just going to cover the whole model here. So I've got out my regiment brush. I find this really takes quite a good load of wash when I'm trying to apply this, and mine's quite worn now. It's not got a very good point anymore. I've used it for multiple years, but it's perfect for this sort of work. I'm able to apply this, just making sure it's pulling in all the recesses and not on any of the flat surfaces. And you can see the hobby holder, it's not holding me back at all. I quite enjoyed it. I do prefer the original myself, but as I said, everyone's hands are different, and it's making it quite easy to hold it steady. Not only steady, but steady for like the painting. Here you can see it's completely base coated and washed, and you could call it done. If you want that high contrast, and you can't be bothered to do the highlights, or you don't feel up to it, you could leave it there. But I'm going to take it one step further. I am going to show you what highlights I would do. I'm going to start just with a base coat, back to that bony skin, and I'm going for my Army Painters. This is the Insane Detail brush, just because now I want to be very accurate, and I want to catch the edges of everything using this color. Everything else that was Boney Spikes, I should say, but including those studs. So I want to catch the edge of the studs, and they're very small, especially some of them. So this brush is going to help me just catch the sort of tip that's sticking out. I'm then going to just go around the model and just put back in that base color anywhere the wash is settled that I don't want it to, and any of the edges. But it's a little bit difficult to really call this edge highlighting because those spikes are sort of cylindrical, so you're sort of painting all the way down, and what I'm trying to do is leaving it darker towards the bottom of the spikes and lighten it up as you move towards the tip. I'm then going to get out the zombie skin. That's what I used to do that wrap around his staff, that sort of cloth bit that he's holding onto. And I'm going to use this as the final highlight to all of those bony areas. So this time I am going to go around and paint sort of the tips of all those spikes, the beak on that sort of skull that's on the bottom of his staff. And that's it, really. I'm just going to highlight up the very edges, the tips in this case, because as I mentioned, they're cylindrical spikes, so you want those. Leather brown just for the staff again. I'm just going to paint a sort of straight line down the center of it as the light's hitting the very front of it, and just making that look a little bit more realistic, giving it a highlight. And then for the armor, which is sort of the last bit, I'm still going to stick to this insane detail brush. I must stress this is very, very small, this brush. And I'm just going to go around and paint in all of the silver details that I would like back in. So that's some of the raised flat surfaces around that skirting area on his greaves, his boots. That's sort of the heel I'm highlighting up there, and then the center, and sort of blending that in, sort of dry brushing it really around his calves, just making that so it's down the back of his calves the brightest, and blending that round because again it's a smooth surface, so I've got to do a little bit of work. And then for his upper body, it's basically just going around his armor and finding, this is edge highlighting at this point, all of those sticky out metal bits, and just painting the very, very edge, just giving that a nice shine, a nice highlight, make it look like that light's really reflecting off of it. Just put some detail back into it, B, just make it look a little bit more sort of realistic, a little bit more lifelike, something as though it's a real object, a real entity in this world, I guess. That's going to take a long time. It's not a quick bit, but the whole model is super quick. So the fact that this one stage is going to sort of take 10-15 minutes of your time is neither here nor there. So what else can I say while we're here? I guess the hobby holder is doing great. I'm keeping it very steady. Because of the size of it, I'm able to sort of push the bottom into my desk, which is keeping my hand incredibly still. Also, for filming, I think it's pretty good. I feel like I'm keeping it more in the center than I've ever done in any other film, and it's not too difficult. I guess when I'm trying to paint the bottom, it's making the model quite far away from you guys. Let me know in the comments how it's coming across for painting, but as an item, it's definitely worth a try if you're interested in it. I think grips suit everyone differently, and they've got 3 different ones. I'll put a link in the description below to the site with them, so you can purchase them if anyone's interested, but they're trying out a few prototypes at the moment. And that was just Livery Green, I think I've said that right for once, and that was just to paint in his eyeballs, nice bright green, just to give him a bit of interesting detail. 48 minutes, you can't really complain about that. As I mentioned, lovely model to start. If you've not painted anything before, you only have to buy 3 colors and a brush really, and you could probably get away with just one insane detail brush for the whole model if you don't mind taking your time. And then if you are used to painting, maybe just, it's nice to see something we're not painting in a while. Massive Darkness back, missed painting it, and it's just a nice quick win for everyone. Sometimes you just need a little boost, quick evening, bish bash bosh, got this ready to play. And I only play them once they're painted, so this is now a new roaming monster that I get playing the board. Very excited to add some variety to the game. Hope you enjoyed watching that. Let me know in the comments below if you've been missing Massive Darkness, if you would like to see some more Massive Darkness, what you'd like to see next. I think we'll probably do a vote on Patreon soon, so leave some suggestions what should be in that vote. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next week.